Hey guys, Gino here out at range 13 again. Today I'm pretty excited. I have something that I picked up a couple weeks ago and haven't been able to bring out and shoot yet. So I'm going to bring it out. You'll get to see the first rounds fired with it. This is a Zenith Z5RS with the SB tactical brace. Zenith is the company that imports these. These are made by MKE out of Turkey. So this is an MP5 clone, or at least it's billed as an MP5 clone. Some people would argue and say that it's not a clone. Apparently MKE used to build these or make these under license from HK, and they're still made on the same machines and tooling as the HK MP5s. But this is not marked HK, it's marked MKE. So there you go. It's about the closest thing to an MP5 that you're going to get without spending a lot of money. Real MP5s command a high price. And I know HK released the SP5K a year or two ago, which is the pistol version, shorter barreled. Everyone's hoping that they'll release something like this. Maybe they will. We can all hope. Until then, we have to deal with companies that make clones. So, all right. So this is pretty iconic. The MP5, obviously, if you watch Die Hard, it's what Bruce Willis used, and you know that's kind of one of the things that helped make it famous. But what really made it famous was a lot of special operations forces around the world used MP5s or have used MP5s from counter-terrorist operations to actual, regular combat operations. They've been around for a long time. They're very reliable, very durable, and hopefully this one's accurate. So it is a semi-automatic 9mm magazine fed, and I'll show you the magazine in a second. It's a 30-round magazine. What kind of put these things on the map was they're a roller lock delayed blowback bolt system in there. And what it does is that roller lock, as soon as the round is fired, in the closed position, the lock is out. So as soon as the gas pressure releases to a certain degree, then it unlocks and cycles. What it does, though, it makes for a very, very smooth recoiling weapon. It's not as harsh as a direct blowback weapon. That roller lock delayed helps that. And it also helps what, the Special Operations Forces loved about it is, and this one does have the tri-lug, and it is threaded. So there's two ways to put a silencer on this, or a suppressor. But with a suppressor on and that roller lock delay, you can just hold it on target and hold the trigger down on fully automatic, and very, very little muzzle rise. It's just very easy when it's cycling. Very easy recoil, impulse. Obviously, this one is safe in semi, not fully automatic. So let's talk about the sights. So it does come with the rail system. MKE, Zenith, they include this when they sell it, and obviously the person I purchased it from had put this on there, and he actually gave me a little red dot. I think it's a little Vortex red dot. But I took it off. I want to try the sights to see if they're accurate, and like I said, I want to try and shoot it out to 101 yards today. So I'm going to start up close at around 10 yards, go out to 101. The rear sight is a drum style. So as you rotate the drum, the hole or the aperture in the drum gets larger. So the largest one would, kind of be for limited visibility. And then as you go down to the smallest, it'd be more for precision type shooting. And not just limited visibility, but maybe, quick acquisition CQB, type engagements. You'd want a little larger. But I'm going to try it with the small one today and try and go out to 101 yards. The rear sight is adjustable for windage and elevation. So I could adjust it for windage if I needed to, but the elevation inside the drum, there's 2 holes in here. You need a special tool to adjust it for elevation, so hopefully there's no issues with it. I won't be able to adjust that today. The front side is just a post, and it is protected. It has a fully enclosed hood that goes around it. Like I said, this is a 30-round magazine. I have 4 or 5 of these, which is kind of nice because they're about 70 bucks each. But I won't need to buy any for a little while. Hopefully, I have enough. All right, last thing, and then I'll kind of start shooting. This one has the 8.9-inch barrel, which is the more iconic barrel. The SP5K that HK produced is more of a pistol, and I don't know what it is, 4.3 or so inch barrel, getting tongue-tied. But I really like the 8.9-inch barrel. It is that iconic, has that MP5 look to it, you know. It is cold hammer forged, so it's a quality barrel, and like I said earlier, it has the 3 lugs and it's threaded for a suppressor or silencer on there. Let's see, the last thing would be the trigger pull. So they're not known as a precision weapon for trigger pull. It's about 7 to 9 pounds, somewhere in there, but it is perfect for what the weapon is. It is definitely one of the most iconic submachine guns on the planet right now. So, all right, let me readjust the camera and we will start shooting, see what we can do with this thing. All right, let's see how it does. This first couple silhouettes are at 10.2 yards. That looks really, really good to me. Let's load a couple more mags. All right, so I loaded a couple more magazines. A couple things about it. It does not have a bolt hold open on the last round. I knew that, but when I just fired it a second ago, I, may have flinched just a little bit when it was empty and it didn't hold it open, which is good. It helps me. Another thing is, up close like this, that smallest aperture, it was a little difficult, so I'm going to put it on a little bit larger, the second aperture, see what it does. Alright guys, let me go ahead and zoom back out. So far, I fired, I'd have to count it up, 200 or 300 rounds, quite a bit, and haven't had a single malfunction. Everything's looking good. So now, what I want to do is try and get out there to those farther targets, and let me set the weapon down, readjust the camera, and we'll start firing at those. Let's move over. Alright, so basically, let me get this camera right here. We've got around a 20, around a 35. The 20 is the white gong, the 35 is the round black gong. And that solo white silhouette out there is like 52. So I'm going to try to zoom in on those a little bit and see what we can do with those, and then we'll head out to the farther ones. Zoom in on that. It's about 52 yards, something like that. Alright guys, let's zoom out of that 52, 53 yard target, and I'm just going to leave it wide angle for a second here and take a couple shots at the, take a couple of the 77, a couple of the 100, and then I'll kind of zoom in. Try the 101 yard target. Wow, I gotta say I am definitely impressed with this. I'm gonna zoom in on the steel so you can actually get a better look at where those are hitting. Truthfully, I can't see where they're hitting from this distance. I can hear them though. Alright, let me go ahead and set the weapon down and zoom in. Let's go to the 77 yard first. those aren't bad because I had the front sight post up near the head area of the silhouette. So let's zoom out of the 77 and let's zoom into the 101 yard. Was 2 magazines at the 101 yard. Alright, now, oh, I can see, yeah, the shots are kind of all over it. I was firing a little fast, so I had some misses, but it feels really good when you're on it and you squeeze the trigger and you hear it trying to line it up and squeeze the trigger, you know, kind of rapidly. To me, that is more fun than going really slow and bearing down and squeezing off one round and then going through the whole process. And obviously you can be more accurate when you do that, but to me it's just a little more fun firing rapidly, even though it's a long range target. So let's pull back out of there. Alright guys, so I've got about 2 magazines left, so I'm just gonna shoot those up real quick. Alright guys, that ends today's shooting. Wow, I cannot say enough how much I really enjoyed firing this Zenith Z5RS. Sorry if I was being a little loud there, I forgot my ears were in. Wow, like I said, I can't say enough good about it. It did not have a malfunction. I did use 4 different types of ammunition today. So like this ends the shooting. For you, those of you guys who like to take off after the shooting's done. But I will say that this performed flawlessly, exceeded my expectations. I bought it used. I disassembled it, cleaned it, lubed it, came out here and did not have a single malfunction. And the sights, I used the iron sights for everything from the 10 yard out to the 101 yard. And I got to tell you, luckily I don't need to adjust them because I don't have that tool, but man, they're right on. The next time I shoot it, maybe I'll throw a red dot on. We'll see. Okay, I'm kind of slobbering over the gun now. So what I'm going to do is, for those of you who want to stick around, I will talk to you about the ammunition I used, and I will give you the exact distances to the targets as ranged with a laser rangefinder. Let me readjust the camera. So let's adjust this camera just a little bit. Alright, okay, so let's talk about the ammunition I used. Right for the close 10-yard targets, I used a lot of the Remington UMC 124 grain flat-nosed, and the American Eagle. These are 115 grain. So the bulk of the magazines that I dumped on the 10.2 yard silhouettes was this ammunition, although I did use some of it as I started going out. So what I used also for the long range 77 yard and the 101 yard, the Winchester 9mm NATO 124 grain, and I did use the Fiocchi 124 grain 9mm. These are the ones I used on the 77 and the 101 yard target. Not that I couldn't have used the others, but I was running low on the others, so I switched to these. Real quick, let's take a look at the targets themselves, and I'll get out of here. My videos seem to be going a little bit longer than they potentially should, based on, you know, talking about the ammunition, the targets, all that stuff. And I'm making it longer right now, aren't I? So right here, 10.2 yards from where I stand, the first white 10-inch gong, that is at 20.8 yards. The black gong, that's also a 10-inch gong, that is at 35.3 yards. The solo white silhouette out there, that one is at 52.7 yards. The first large black silhouette right there, 77.1 yards. The last large black silhouette out there, that one is at 101 yards even. Let me zoom back out. So if you've watched any of my other videos, you've seen this. I use this SIG Kilo 2000 is what I use to laze the targets to get the distances. I actually use the tripod that the camera's on right now. I set it in the firing position, I put the laser rangefinder on top of it, and I laze each target at least 2-3 times to make sure I have accurate distance to the target. Okay. As usual, I had a lot of fun. I actually had more fun than usual. This Zenith Z5RS, I cannot say enough good about it. It is very easy to shoot, very low recoil, and the iron sights are dead on, which is a good thing because I don't have that tool if they weren't. I will maybe put the red dot on it later just to have fun with that also. But the iron sights were As you can see from the video, they're very accurate. Any misses, even at the 77 and 100 yard, were all on me. Firing too fast, you know, once I kind of get into a rhythm and I'm squeezing the trigger, letting the muzzle come back down on target, I find it on the front sight post, I squeeze again, and sometimes I get going a little too fast, which causes obviously more misses. Like I said earlier, you could bear down and take 3, 4, 5 seconds in between each shot, and you would probably be a lot more accurate. You'd have more hits. But to me, it's just not as much fun. I like pulling the trigger kind of rapidly, and you know, luckily I was getting hits because the Zenith is very accurate. Alright guys, that's about it for today. I will see you next time.